Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze Clips and welcome to this review reaction to the Whatculture ups and downs. We've started doing this because it's a really good way of just getting our thoughts across about Raw, and also we get to have a look, see what Whatculture think as well. And I've got a lot of time for Whatculture. I like those guys. I like what they do. I think their articles and their videos obviously are very good, very entertaining. So this all comes from a place of respect. And let's get into their article and see if we agree or disagree. So first one, we've got them criticizing the commentary team. Now, it's hard for me on this because I do a live watch along for Raw, NXT, SmackDown, the premium live events. So I'm not listening to the commentary. But what I would say is the bits that I picked up on sounded fine. I like these two when they're on SmackDown. Apparently, Wade Barrett kept talking about SummerSlam and referring to it as WrestleMania. So, yeah, there's probably a few mistakes that crept in. First night nerves? I don't know. I doubt it. But, everyone's got a bad day at the office in them. So maybe it was just that. I like these two on SmackDown, though. So I've got mixed feelings about this first point. It's not something that bothered me or something I saw in the live chat bothering people. But if there were some mistakes that were made, then okay, fine. The thing that bothers me more is SmackDown has got a 3-man booth now. And I'm a little bit worried about that because it's going to be Michael Cole, Kevin Patrick, and Corey Graves. Now, I don't mind some of those. I'm not the biggest fan of Kevin Patrick, but I really like Corey Graves. I really like Michael Cole. I know that Michael Cole can't long-term really be doing both shows. So I sort of think we need a better solution here. It feels like if Kevin Patrick was better at his job, then we wouldn't have had to have made these changes. I don't think WWE have actually come out and said why they've made these changes, but the fact that Michael Cole now is having to do double duty, he's having to work Raw and SmackDown, probably isn't a great sign that Kevin Patrick has been doing a great job. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Next, we've got this full-time job requires 3 hours of work. So what Whatculture is saying here is that Adam Pearce, what does he do all week? Because he rocked up to Raw seemingly with no plan, no show, because of the amount of matches that were made during the show. The example on screen is Shayna Baszler, Zoey Stark. That came out of nowhere. The main event, the 6-person main event, that came out of nowhere. I believe Ludwig and Otis backstage meant that obviously that wasn't planned in advance. So they're just questioning, what does Adam Pearce do? Now, I think that's fine to question it. I think it's a bit harsh to mark the show a down because of it. Like, doesn't feel like a down to me. I mean, he could have had a show planned and then decided that what was presenting itself was better, was more engaging, was more organic, and so decided to throw out the planned match and go with these matches instead. So I think it's something we probably just need to keep an eye on, because you don't want to go OTT with it, but it's a bit harsh, I think, to score this a down for, that sort of a reason. Next, we've got what was the point. I really disagree with this as well. They're saying, what was the point in Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark? Because Shayna was moving at half speed because she was still feeling the effects of a pretty brutal match with Ronda. She obviously had a black eye as well. They're saying that if this was done to make Shayna look like a badass that would, keep fighting, then mission accomplished. But it wasn't the best of performances, and you've got to question if it was worth doing. For me, I think Shayna looks like a badass here. I think she really looks like a badass. She's got like a bruised, swollen eye, right? Which, first of all, makes her look pretty cool. And then she obviously gets into this match with Zoey Stark, who's a very good, very credible, rising competitor, and she manages to secure the win. Then she confronts Becky and said, I've got a list of people I'm coming after. You're on that list. Like, I just think this made her look really cool. That's what I took away from this. Like, I think she looked really cool. Did you need the match? Maybe not. Maybe not. But if we are really really getting behind Shayna Baszler and were really trying to get somewhere. I think following up a win, a pretty hard-hitting win against Ronda, with now a credible win against a rising star like Zoey Stark, all whilst doing it whilst you're clearly hurting and your eye is bruised and swollen, like, just makes her look pretty cool in my book. So I have to disagree with this being a down. You can argue about whether they should have done it or not, but I wouldn't score the show down as a result of it. Next, the final down is the Raw special, and I agree with this. I agree with this. As soon as they announced that we were getting Judgment Day, Cody, Seth, and Sammy as like a 6-person thrown together tag match, I groaned. Like, it's not what I wanted at all, because you want something that's a little bit juicier. You want to know which direction we're going in. I wanted to know what were we doing with Seth next, what are we doing with Cody next. You know, the amount of times we do this can they coexist stuff, you know, like I agree. I groaned when I saw this match. It's not what I was looking for. The end result is really good though, and I think that's actually an up, so we will get to that. But yes, when this match was made, when this match was announced, certainly didn't feel to me like it was a positive, so I'm agreeing with them on this. Right, let's get to the ups, and we're going to blast our way through these. So Kaiser the Creeper, this is an up because they're saying that they're fleshing out the Imperium characters, and it's good to see Imperium doing something other than just standing in the background. I agree with that. I do worry about where this could go, if he is going to be a bit of a perv. Like, I don't know, yeah, there is a little bit of a concern there. This could easily go south, but right now we're seeing something a little bit different with Imperium, and I agree, that's a positive. Then we've got New Day Indeed Rocks, New Day returning. They in the article went a little bit OTT, I think, in regards to saying that, you know, it's brilliant to have them back. You don't realize how much you miss them till they return, and all this kind of stuff. I think the New Day are stale. I think they're desperately in need of a new fresh coat of paint. Obviously, now they're back, we can do that. So it is a positive that they're back, but we have really got to do something different with them. Bootios, pancakes, that was all a long time ago now. And we just seem to still be running on the fumes of that kind of history, of that past. So I want to see something fresh coming up now. Then we've got as good a challenger as it gets. As we said, we really like the ending of this. I really like the ending of the main event. As good a challenger as it gets. I agree with that. I think Shinsuke going into a program now with Seth Rollins is excellent. He's been on the sidelines for a long time. Now it's time for him to get back into that main event picture. I was very excited by the ending of Raw, and very excited by this feud. Then we've got Rhea Ripley finally pees off the women's division. Yeah, I agree with this. There was a big brawl. We had Candice, we had Indy. We could have had a few more women involved, if we're being brutally honest. We could have had even more people getting upset with Rhea. We could have made it a bigger deal. We could have seen that she really had the women's division against her, rather than it just being Candice and Indy. But I like seeing them standing up for Raquel. I like seeing them getting dragged into this. It's going to mean that Rhea can run through them as she gets towards Raquel and that big encounter, which has been teased and teased and teased. So, yeah, positive. I like it. I like seeing more women getting involved in this. I think we could have gone further, but, yep, no complaints. Then we've got a fun-filled four-way. I'm going to disagree with this. There was stuff in this four-way that I thought was good. But one thing about wrestling, or modern wrestling, that I really don't enjoy are those big, scripted, multi-person spots that look so obviously fake. I mean, they just look so set up. It really looks like it is people doing some sort of routine. When we had that spot in the corner with all four people, it just looked like we were trying to get set to do a spot. I mean, when it looks and feels so obviously fake, like, it's just something that I really struggle with. So, you know, these kind of matches have plenty of examples of those types of things. And so for me, this is just one of those matches that you watch. The kids are going to enjoy it. The live crowd in attendance are going to enjoy it. The casual fans that like look at the clip on social media are going to get some up from it. So there's definitely, I see an upside to it. But I think if you're someone that really watches the shows and enjoys the shows, not everyone is going to be into that kind of thing, and I'm not, to be honest. So I like fast-paced matches. I like where it's, you know, they're going at each other, and I don't mind impressive spots, of course, but they've got to feel like they fit in the match. And I think there's too many of these types of matches where it just doesn't feel like they fit. So for me, this was, I like Chad winning. I like a few moments in this. There was a few hard-hitting moments in this. It certainly wasn't all bad, but there was a few spots that I could have done without. So for me, a mixed bag on this one. And then we get to our number one final point, and it is a Miz feud that works. So, yeah, LA Knight and Miz did a good job. I thought they both had some nice moments. I think Miz is working with LA Knight. He's trying to help LA Knight, not in storyline, I mean in real life, because he really set him up, you know. Miz said, you know, I've been working hard here for the last 20 years. What have you been doing for the last 20 years? That is such a gift of a line to throw over to, so like that allows LA Knight to bring everyone up to speed with what he's been doing for the last 20 years, talking about his climb, his struggle. And he had some nice lines back as well. So I felt like these two are on the same page. I think they both want this to work. I think they both know they can talk. I think they both delivered. Both came out of it with credibility. And it was good. I'm looking forward to this feud continuing. I think it's a good feud. It's a weird feud considering LA Knight is a SmackDown superstar. But he was there doing a photo shoot, and I thought they explained it well. So yeah, I'm excited for this. We knew that a push for LA Knight was coming after SummerSlam. Here it is. This is a credible opponent, former world champion, someone that's going to chew you alive on a microphone unless you bring your A game. So yeah, this is good. I agree. This was a positive. This was an up. The other bit that I would just talk about is the injuries. Everyone's injured. Like Liv is injured, KO is injured, Sammy is injured, Raquel is injured, Shayna's got a black eye, Sonya we heard is injured, and we don't know what's going to happen now with the women's tag titles. They need to make a decision on that. The other thing that needs mentioning is the bombshell that Jimmy is going back to the island of relevancy. He's going back to acknowledge Roman. That was mentioned on the episode and then tweeted out. I would put that as a down. Just because, why did we not make a bigger deal out of that? Why did we not get a sit-down interview with Jimmy where he told us that that's what was happening? Instead, it was just mentioned over the top of a graphic and tweeted out. Like, we're all wondering what's next for Jimmy. And so I feel like we could have made a bigger deal out of that. So that's just a little observation as well. So yeah, plenty of stuff on this episode. Felt quite action-packed by the end of it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And we'll do another of these for NXT, which is later tonight. And of course, SmackDown this Friday. Awesome. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.